Modern AI can generate a paragraph, paint a picture, or write a block of code in seconds. The sheer speed of the output often makes it feel like we are witnessing magic. Thinking by habit encourages us to accept this magic at face value. First principles thinking takes the opposite approach, breaking a complex system down into its most basic, undeniable truths. Treating artificial intelligence as a black box or a synthetic brain creates a sense of intellectual dependency. It suggests the machine is a mysterious entity beyond our understanding. To see past this perception, we have to look closely at the materials the system is made of. This investigation leads back to the physical world. Long before digital algorithms, a farmer observing the soil and testing seeds was already gathering data to make predictions. Useful intelligence is a ladder built layer by layer. It rests on a foundation of simple human actions that eventually grow into complex systems. To understand how a machine learns, we have to walk back to the very first rung. Consider a shop owner deciding how much bread to bake. She sees that rainy mornings bring fewer customers, while a festival weekend brings large orders. She is selecting specific variables to help her prepare for the day. This is the birth of a pattern. A pattern is stable, meaning found across natural variation. It allows us to identify relationships that repeat themselves, even when the environment is changing. If the world were entirely random, nothing could be learned. If it were completely rigid, learning would be unnecessary. Both human thinking and machine learning live in this middle space, surviving by detecting stable relationships inside a moving reality. This raises a practical question. How does a machine, a system of wires and silicon, actually perceive these patterns? It uses mathematics. Math provides a disciplined language for expressing basic relationships and quantities. A system asks three foundational questions of its data: counting, how many times; comparison, which is more frequent; uncertainty, is this reliable? Translating these into operational logic removes ambiguity, turning loose observations into measured, reliable values. These mathematical questions codify human curiosity into an architecture the machine can process. Once the math is in place, the system needs a way to improve. This occurs through a continuous revision spiral, a cycle of drafting, critiquing, and revising. In this loop, the machine makes an initial guess. When it misses, it registers the degree of failure, passing it back. It adjusts internal weights so the next guess lands closer. This optimizes math into a carefully designed architecture. Machine learning is a relentless, mathematically driven mechanism of error correction. We have reached the top of the ladder. We have a system that can recognize patterns, apply logic, and correct its own errors to predict a result. But a prediction is only a statement about what might happen. A decision is an action taken under real-world consequences. Once the math is solved, we have to ask who owns the final action. An AI can calculate the most fuel-efficient route for a highway with perfect accuracy. However, the math does not account for the social cost of bulldozing a community park. The algorithm only follows the constraints it was given. Mathematics exposes a trade-off. It reveals the cost of an action in time or resources, but society must still choose the values that guide the final decision. At this final layer, we find a distinct boundary. Optimization determines the most efficient path. Ethics decides if that path should be taken. This creates a unique requirement for the modern era. Powerful artificial intelligence demands that our own human judgment become far more explicit and honest. Useful intelligence is built carefully in layers, from observation to application. Each step requires a powerful mind to remain humane. Mastering these layers allows the builder to carry the system with a clear sense of responsibility.